Hi, my name is Kevin. I'm a data consultant at Linchpin Analytics, and in this video we're going to look at what is thresholding in GA4. So when looking at GA4 reports, you may see this red exclamation mark and wonder what that is. So if we expand that, we can see it says something referred to as thresholding applied. So what does that mean? So it means that some data has been excluded from the data set. And that happens when Google Signals is turned on. So within the admin settings of GA4, it's common to turn on something called Google Signals, which adds additional user data to reports, demographic data, etc., gender. And it's also used for tracking users. So when you use Google products and you've signed or you've opted into sharing data or add personalization, then GA4 can make use of data from other Google products. So it comes from Google Signals being turned on, and the thresholding or the exclusion of data happens when Google feels that it may be possible to infer the identity of an individual through user data, like their interests or demographics, etc. And because of that danger, it will withhold data sometimes, and it will show this warning here that thresholding has been applied. So it's really a privacy thing to ensure that a user can never be identified through Google Analytics data. If you're worried about how it's affecting the numbers in your report, it's quite easy to turn this off. So if we understand that this comes from Google Signals, then we can quite easily turn off Google Signals and then come back and look at the numbers again and see how they compare. And we may find it probably not that different, but at least we can compare what degree this is affecting the data, and we can have some peace of mind. So the way that you would one way that you would easily do that is if you have the permissions editor or above, you can go into the admin section here of GA4, and you can go into something called reporting identity, which is settings of how users are tracked. And if we go in here, we'll see the default is blended, and we can see part of the blended approach for tracking users includes Google Signals data. So it's saying uses information from users who are signed in to Google and who have consented to sharing this information. So we know the thresholding is related to this because it can give extra user data, demographic data, and the worry is that you might be able to infer the identity of a user. So we can force this to turn off by clicking down here where it says show all, and then we can click device-based and then click save. So device-based means that we just use the client ID, nothing else. So this is how Universal Analytics worked. It used something called a client ID, a unique value for a user stored in a cookie that belonged to a specific browser. So when we turn to device-based, that's the kind of tracking that we're using, and Google Signals will not be used. And if we go back to our reports, we'll find that there are no thresholding warnings applied to any of our reports when we use device-based only. So you can go in, check the numbers, see how different they are, how much of a worry that thresholding is or not, and then I recommend you come back and turn it back to blended, because this will get you the best methods for tracking users. But you can definitely choose this device-based only option to remove thresholding and check the numbers and see the difference. Just an update on thresholding. So since the video was made, Google have made an update to GA4 concerning thresholding. So now, where you see the exclamation mark where thresholding has been applied, previously your only real option to get around that was to disable Google Signals. So Google Signals, turning that on is what causes or potentially causes thresholding to be applied to a report. And your only real option was to turn it off. But now, if you go down to admin, and if you go into data collection, there is a new option called include Google Signals in reporting identity. So if you toggle this off, this will reduce the likelihood of thresholding being applied to reports. And you can toggle this off and keep Google Signals data collection on. So when you toggle this off, it will remove specific demographic data and interest data from GA4 reports, but it will still collect Google Signals data. So you can still use Google Signals data in audiences, in conversions, and Google Ads, because this is still checked on, but checking this off reduces the chances of thresholding applying to GA4 reports. Okay, hopefully that was useful. A little bit about what thresholding is, why it gets applied, the root cause of it is data from Google Signals, and also how you can temporarily remove the thresholding warning and check the numbers without any thresholding applied. Okay, thank you very much.